Bronny James and Jaylen Brown going at it has the internet in a frenzy. This situation traces back to a courtside moment, a set of comments that went viral, and a father who does not forget. So let's get into this fight between Bronny James and Jaylen Brown, and why LeBron James just put everything back in the spotlight. The courtside moment that started it all. The core of this entire situation between Bronny James and Jaylen Brown goes back to July 2024, Las Vegas, during the NBA Summer League. Jaylen Brown had a front row seat for the Celtics-Lakers Summer League game in Las Vegas. He was not alone. Brown was courtside at the Thomas and Mack Center with Casey Gondrezick and Angel Reese, and a brief exchange between the three was caught by the NBC Sports Boston cameras during the game broadcast. Now here's what makes this a situation. Brown appeared to say, "Honestly, I don't think Bronny is a pro. That's what the cameras caught. That's what people saw." Gondrezick seemingly replied, "I think he'll be on the G League team for sure," but Brown didn't agree with that either. Brown apparently then said, "I don't think so. I think because of his name, he'll be on the Lakers." Let that sit for a moment. A current NBA star, courtside, at a Summer League game, talking to two WNBA players, and essentially saying that Bronny James is not good enough to be in the league and is only going to make a roster because his last name is James. That's what was captured on camera. The clip circulated widely on social media, sparking debate over whether the comment was a criticism or taken out of context. Now, to give some context for what Bronny was doing in that game, it's easy to see why Brown wasn't impressed with the 19-year-old James, who got the start for the Lakers but scored just 2 points off 1 of 5 shooting. That is a rough performance. There is no way around it, but saying that on camera, at an event that's being broadcast, sitting next to two of the most high-profile women in basketball at the time, in Angel Reese and Casey Gondrezick, that's a different kind of statement. That's the kind of statement that lives on the internet forever, and it did. The moment went viral, leading to a Brown response that felt like neither a denial of the speculated comments nor an apology. What Brown did was post on X, formerly known as Twitter, an attempt to smooth things over. "It's a flex to have your son alongside you in the NBA. It reflects greatness and longevity," Brown posted to X after the clip surfaced. "Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful. I look forward to watching his growth." Now, that post is interesting. Brown didn't deny what he said. Even though it was just lip reading, Brown owned the comment in a sense by pivoting. He went from, "I don't think Bronny is a pro in person," to "Bronny has all the tools around him to be successful" on social media. That's a shift. Whether you call it a walkback, a clarification, or damage control, it was a response that acknowledged what had happened without directly addressing the words that were caught on camera. But here is the thing. You can post on social media all day long. You can clarify, you can clean up, you can add context. But when a father sees someone talk about his son like that, especially a father like LeBron James, that does not go away. That stays. That lives in a place that social media posts cannot reach. That all took place before Bronny's first real NBA game. The Lakers selected him with the number 55 overall pick in the draft that summer, and he ended up playing in 27 games last season, while spending time with the Lakers' G League affiliate. So Brown made those comments before Bronny had even played a single regular season NBA game. He made a judgment on a kid who was playing in the Summer League, the same Summer League where players are trying to find their footing, where rosters are filled with players on two-way deals, and guys fighting for their professional lives. And 2 years later, LeBron James just reminded the world that he heard every word. Fast forward to February 22, 2026. The Boston Celtics walked into Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles and handled the Lakers. Brown got the better of the father and son duo on Sunday, as the Boston Celtics crushed the Los Angeles Lakers 111-89 at Crypto.com Arena. Brown led all scorers with 32 points, to go along with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. After the game, LeBron James was asked about Brown's season, and what his personal relationship with the Celtics star has been like over the years. What came next set the internet on fire. LeBron told reporters, "Our relationship has been pretty respectful, besides the chat he said about Bronny in Summer League. But other than that, we've been all right." That quote hit different. LeBron didn't yell. He didn't go on a rant. He said it calmly, almost casually. James said it while cracking a smile. But make no mistake, those words were calculated. He wanted the world to know that he remembers. He wanted Jaylen Brown to know that 2 years later, that courtside moment in Las Vegas is still alive in his memory. As James and the media laughed, he was asked if they had gotten past that incident. His response, "We'll be all right, we'll be all right, yeah, we'll be all right." Then he added, "I think he went on social media and said something about it, so it's all good." Bronny's got a long way to go, but that's another story. Now, there's a lot to unpack there. LeBron acknowledged Brown's social media post, the one where he tried to clean things up back in 2024. LeBron also acknowledged that Bronny still has development ahead of him. He's not blind to where his son is in his career, but the point was made. The point was, "I heard what you said. I haven't forgotten. And I'm telling you right now in front of cameras that I remember. When asked if the two had moved past the situation, James offered clarity without hostility. That's an important detail. This was not LeBron going scorched earth. James didn't go scorched earth, but the way he delivered those lines, with a smile, with humor, but with a pointed reference to what Brown said, it was LeBron doing what LeBron does. He addressed it, he made his point, and he moved forward. But he also made sure that everyone in that room, everyone watching the clip, and everyone reading the headlines the next morning, understood. A father does not forget when someone questions his son. James maintained that he and Brown have remained civil, even if the latter criticized the former's son, Bronny James, last year. Civil. That is the word. Not friends, not close, civil. There is a difference. When you describe a relationship as civil, you're acknowledging that there's no hostility, but also no warmth. It's professional, it's controlled. And when LeBron uses that word, it carries weight, because LeBron is someone who has deep, public friendships across the league. He's someone who celebrates other players, who hugs opponents after games, who maintains relationships that go beyond basketball. Calling something civil is a choice. The clip from the post-game interview went everywhere. It trended on X. It hit every major sports outlet within hours. Hoop Central posted it, Clutch Points ran with it, ESPN covered it, TMZ picked it up. This was a situation, and LeBron created it with about 30 seconds of talking. So where does Bronny James actually stand right now? That's a critical part of this story, because when Jaylen Brown said, "I don't think Bronny is a pro in 2024, he was making a judgment call on a kid who hadn't played a single regular season NBA game. Now, 2 years into his NBA career, Bronny is still developing, still finding his place, and still working through the process that every young player goes through. Bronny James is dividing his time between the LA Lakers and their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers, for the 2025-26 season. He has been alternating between the two teams to further develop his skills. That is standard practice for a second-round pick in his second year. That is how development works in the NBA system. You go to the G League to get reps. You come back to the main roster when opportunities present themselves, and you continue to build your game. Bronny has averaged 2.2 points and 1.2 assists in 29 appearances with the Lakers this season while playing 7.3 minutes per game. Those are not eye-popping numbers. Nobody is going to look at 2.2 points per game and call that an all-star trajectory. But that's not the point. In 6 games with the South Bay Lakers, he's averaged 15.5 points and 5.2 assists. Those G League numbers tell a different story. When Bronny gets minutes, when he gets the ball in his hands, when he has the opportunity to play through mistakes and find his rhythm, the production goes up. James's stats are similar to his rookie season, with some areas of improvement, as he is shooting 40.7% from the field and 42.3% from distance, while seeing a slight boost in minutes per game. That's progress. That shooting percentage from 3, 42.3%, is a number that would make any NBA coach take notice. Bronny's development has been a process. It's been slow in the eyes of the public, but the numbers show improvement, and the people around him see it. "I feel different. I feel way more comfortable," James said. My teammates believe in me. My coaches believe in me. That's all I've wanted. So it's just good to get out there and take advantage of it." That's Bronny talking about where he is right now. That's not a player who is overwhelmed or lost. That's a player who is gaining confidence. The Los Angeles Lakers announced on February 9th that LeBron's son has been assigned to their G League affiliate, the South Bay Lakers, following the team's recent win over the Golden State Warriors. The move is designed to give the 2024 second-round pick consistent minutes as part of his ongoing development. Now, was Jaylen Brown wrong when he said what he said in 2024? That depends on how you define wrong. Brown looked at a summer league performance where Bronny scored 2 points on 1 for 5 shooting and made a judgment. A lot of people made that same judgment. The younger James has been widely criticized, with many fans sharing Brown's view. That's the reality. Bronny James has been one of the most scrutinized players in the NBA since before he was even drafted. But there's a difference between fans on social media making comments and an NBA player, a finals MVP, sitting courtside and saying it on camera while talking to other professional athletes. That carries different weight. That's a peer assessment, and when that peer assessment is negative, it hits different. The eldest son of LeBron James, Bronny averaged 14.2 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.8 steals as a senior for Sierra Canyon in California, and was a consensus 4-star recruit. He was a McDonald's All-American and played in the Jordan Brand Classic and Nike Hoop Summit in 2023. This is not a player who came out of nowhere. This is not a player who had no credentials coming into the NBA. He committed to USC, but at a practice in July ahead of his freshman season, James collapsed after experiencing cardiac arrest caused by a congenital heart defect. That's a detail that often gets lost in the conversation. Bronny suffered a cardiac arrest. He nearly died. His development was disrupted in a way that no one can fully account for. And yet he made it back, played college basketball, got drafted, and is now in his second NBA season. He expressed confidence that the squad could be legitimate title contenders this season. "Our team believes that we can be contenders and make a deep playoff run," James said. That's the mindset. Whether you think Bronny is a pro or not, the kid believes in himself and his team. Now, let's be fair here. This story is not just about what Jaylen Brown said about Bronny James. It's also about what Jaylen Brown is doing on the basketball court right now, which is playing at the highest level of his career. With Jason Tatum recovering from a torn Achilles tendon, Brown has carried the load for the Celtics on offense this season. The Celtics' dream of winning back-to-back titles turned into a nightmare when Jason Tatum suffered a torn Achilles tendon during Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals in May. That's the backdrop. The Celtics' best player went down. The franchise had a decision to make about how to move forward, and Jaylen Brown took the ball and ran with it. In 50 games, Jaylen Brown has averaged 29.2 points, 7.0 rebounds, and 4.8 assists. He was an all-star for the fourth year in a row. And entering the year, Brown had already established himself as one of the top 10 to 15 players in the NBA, but it's been tough to ignore just how big a leap he has managed to take this season. When informed about James' comments, Brown took a second to shout his name to the masses as he declared himself the best two-way player in the league. "Who I am, I feel like I'm the best two-way player in the world. I play both ends on the court night to night. I'm available, which is hard to do. I'm a leader. Help lead my team, empower my team to come out and play confidently. Stuff that doesn't always show up on the analytics. And I'm a winner. I come out and try to win every single night. That's not a player who is shrinking from the spotlight. That's a player who is owning the moment, and that confidence has translated to results." The Celtics entered Monday in second place in the Eastern Conference standings with a 37-19 record after dismantling the Los Angeles Lakers on the road Sunday night. The Celtics lost a lot of pieces. Even beyond the absence of Tatum, the Celtics lost several key members of their rotation, such as Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, Al Horford, and Luke Kornet over the offseason. That's a championship core that was broken apart. And yet Brown has the Celtics competing, not just surviving, competing. LeBron himself acknowledged this. The elder James maintained that Brown has been playing great basketball, adding that the Celtics star is not being talked about enough for the MVP award. This whole MVP thing, I don't understand why his name is not getting talked about some as well. Like nobody gave them a shot to start the season. That's LeBron doing something that a lot of people missed in this story. Yes, he brought up what Brown said about Bronny, but he also gave Brown his flowers. He acknowledged the season Brown is having. He spoke up for Brown as an MVP candidate. That's not something you do for someone you have a problem with. That's something you do for someone you respect. And the respect is mutual. It's an honor to play the Celtics-Lakers rivalry. It's an honor for LeBron, who's arguably the best player to ever play the game, giving me some high praise. So, I'm just grateful. That's Brown responding to LeBron's MVP endorsement. That's a player who understands where he stands in relation to a legend. The MVP race itself is interesting this year. Charles Barkley has called it a dogfight between Jaylen Brown and Cade Cunningham. "If I had to pencil in an MVP, Jaylen Brown is getting my vote," Kendrick Perkins said on ESPN's Get Up. "What he is doing on both ends of the floor. No other person in the league is doing it at this level. Even opponents have noticed. He doesn't have his partner in crime, and he's still proving that he can lead the team." Three-time MVP Nikola Jokic said of Brown, "He's playing at a high level, scoring the ball." So when we talk about the fight between Bronny James and Jaylen Brown, it's worth understanding that this is not a rivalry between equals on the basketball court right now. Brown is in the middle of possibly the best season of his career. He is a legitimate MVP candidate. He is leading a team that many people counted out. And Bronny is a developmental player who is working his way through the G League and getting limited NBA minutes. These are two players at very different stages of their careers. But what connects them is a set of comments made on a courtside camera in Las Vegas in 2024, and a father who will not let it go. This entire situation, from the 2024 Summer League clip to LeBron's February 2026 post-game comments, tells us something about the NBA that goes beyond basketball. It tells us about the unwritten rules of the league. It tells us about what happens when you come for someone's family. And it tells us about LeBron James as a father. Though James admitted that Bronny has a ways to go in his development in the league, and he wasn't that serious about it Sunday night, he's clearly not going to forget those who have criticized his son in the past, even if it was years ago. That line tells the full story. LeBron was joking. He was light about it. He had a smile on his face. But underneath that smile was a message. Say what you want about me, but when it comes to my son, I'm keeping receipts. LeBron has been in the NBA for over 2 decades. He has heard every criticism imaginable about his own game, his own legacy, his own decisions. He has been called a choker, a ring chaser, a coach killer, a front office puppet. He has absorbed all of it and continued to play at the highest level year after year. At 41, he's still viewed as a global superstar. While his future in a Lakers uniform is murky, all early signs point to him playing a 24th year in the NBA. But when it comes to Bronny, the rules change. Aside from being one of the greatest to ever play the game of basketball, he's also a father. LeBron James has been teammates with his son Bronny for 2 seasons now. That is historic. He and his father made NBA history as the first father-son duo to appear together in a game. That's something that has never happened before in the history of the league. And when you are protecting a legacy like that, when you are sharing a court with your own child, the stakes of public criticism become personal in a way that no amount of social media posts can undo. Brown, to his credit, tried to fix it. He posted on X. He said the right things. He called it a flex that LeBron gets to play with his son. He said Bronny has the tools to succeed. But the clip existed. The words were caught. And LeBron's memory is not something that social media posts can erase. Now, it's also worth noting what LeBron didn't do. He didn't attack Brown. He didn't call him out harshly. He didn't create a feud. James then proceeded to praise Jaylen Brown for almost single-handedly carrying the Celtics to the number 2 seed in the East with his strong play this season. He gave him credit. He endorsed him for MVP. He acknowledged the season Brown is having. That's maturity. That's someone who can separate what a person said about his son from what that person is doing on the basketball court. LeBron also made a pointed comment about the MVP voting process itself, something that clearly still bothers him from his own career. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know the criteria of MVP anymore. I kinda stopped giving a damn about it a long time ago. I got my own personal issues about it. So yeah, these guys will tell you why, he said, gesturing to his Lakers teammates in the locker room. That tells you LeBron is someone who carries things. He remembers things. And the Bronny Jaylen Brown situation is just another example of that. He's not letting it consume him. He's not making it a war. But he is making sure that the record shows he hasn't forgotten. The Lakers and Celtics will continue to compete. Brown and LeBron will likely cross paths again before the season ends. And Bronny will continue to develop shuttle between the G League and the main roster, and work toward becoming the player that both his father and his critics want to see. But this moment, LeBron sitting in the Lakers locker room after a loss, cracking a smile while referencing something Jaylen Brown said about his son 2 years ago, is one of those moments that sticks. It tells you everything about how LeBron James operates. It tells you that the fight between the James family and anyone who doubts Bronny is not over. It tells you that LeBron is watching, LeBron is listening, and LeBron is remembering. And the internet is here for all of it. The clip of LeBron's post-game comments has already gone viral. The debate about whether Brown was right or wrong about Bronny has been reignited. The discussion about the unwritten rules of the NBA, about what you can and cannot say about another player's family, is back in the spotlight. This fight between Bronny James and Jaylen Brown is not about punches thrown or technicals called. It's about words said on camera, a father who remembers, and a young player who is still writing his story. And as long as LeBron James is in the NBA, playing alongside his son, this story is not going anywhere. Because fathers remember, and LeBron James has a very good memory.